A SACCO is a cooperative society, or rather a company ama institution ambayo inakuja in a pool. Like right now we are like 6 people in this room, right? We put money in this particular pot. All right? And then tuseme as long as contribute kwa hii pot, ni kama tu venye mnafanya table banking, unaweza kopa. What is the difference though with table banking? Okay, well, I don't know, table banking ni vile tu chama wame structure. But SACCOs ideally vile zina work ni you can borrow up to 3 times or 4 times your total savings. Why are you able to borrow more than what you've saved? Because there's a pot where people have contributed. Now,
rudia your point. Rudia your point.
Okay.
You can borrow
up to 3 or 4 times.
Na sijatumwa na SACCO.
Yeah.
But imagine saving 100,000
and borrowing 400.
Being able to borrow 400.
Yeah.
Kama ile biashara utaanza. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know why that's possible? Because it is not common that all of us have borrowed the loan at the same time. So you've contributed to the pot. Other people have contributed to the pot. Now in the Kenyan SACCO system, we are talking hundreds of thousands of people who contribute either through their employers or even individually. Saka sisi freelancers tunajiekea tu.
Saseni mkofiti mazeni mwa miss. Welcome back to Cele's Reflection. Today I have my second guest of the year. Of course, mnakumbuka zile episodes 2 za January hizo zilikuwa za December. So this time I have my second guest of the year, which is someone who was here. See, a new person. So it's someone who was here before. And the feedback that I got, oh my God. Ebu acha introduce alafu niwapatie feedback yenye mulinitumia. Karibu sana Susan.
Thank you.
Salamu pokea. Like your flowers. Her name is Susan. Introduce yourself to see assume.
All right. Hi guys. Thank you for having me on your channel. My name is Susan Wanjiku. I am a personal finance coach under the Legacy Hub Kenya, where we focus on all things financial literacy. Na goal yetu ni simple, to make financial literacy simple, accessible, and personal. And I'm so happy to be here.
Now, the last time you were here, the reason why I'm saying let's give her your flowers, the feedback I got, this episode, Women and Money, oh my God, the feedback was overwhelming, in fact.
Wow, thank you.
So many women walikuwa like, we didn't know about financial abuse. Oh, that is something I can relate to. Kumbe like, hata mimi nilijua financial abuse, hiyo siku. I won't lie, I am like them. So thank you so much, Susan.
Thanks for having me.
And during that time, tukiwa na hiyo season, there's something you mentioned, and I think that's why I called you this year, 2026. In as much as tuko February, Valentine's imepita, by now Valentine's ishaenda, so I saw so many women who really want to understand how to invest.
Yeah.
Kwa hiyo topic, like kuna mali ulisema you've even taught your nanny, and I was like, wow, we can all learn something.
Yeah.
Because tusijifanye, acha mimi tu nisijifanye. Out there everyone anakaa ni kama understand finances. Oh, you know, everybody. Na sasa wenye hatuelewi tunaogopa kukaa ni kama haujui.
Yeah.
I'm scared to say, wait, so SACCO naweza fanya because people are moving fast.
Yeah.
Not everyone can move with that pace. So we end up losing many, not even few, many, because wacha tu nikae na pesa yangu chini ya mattress.
Yeah.
Ama ikae tu pale kwa simu, because hizi terms ni mingi. Oh, invest, oh, MMF, oh, trust fund, oh, SACCO, oh, sijui emergency fund, oh, there are so many.
There's so many.
So that's why today nikasema, Susan, can you please come? At least we get to understand basic investment tips for someone who really just wants to start investing.
Yeah.
Ama to try, and who is scared to ask. Scared to look like a fool, scared to look like I don't know. So na flow to. When we say we know it, women, we know it. So mimi niko hapo.
Okay.
So just basic investment things. And maybe just start by, what is investment?
What is investing?
What is investing?
I love that question so much, because it always comes up, and it's not a silly question. Exactly. Like, what's the difference? Sana it comes up, watu wakiuliza, so unataka kuniambia hii pesa nimekuwa nikiweka hapa, hiyo siku invest. You see, like most people think they're investing, right?
And that's a legit question.
And that's a legit question. So for me, the simplest way napenda ku explain investing is in terms of napenda kuicompare na saving. Okay?
Okay.
So what is saving? Saving leo ni kama venye umesema nikichukua 50 bob yangu niweke chini ya mattress. Ni as long as hakuna mwezi kwa hiyo nyumba nikirudi.
Iko.
After, even if it's 1 year. Iko. So you've preserved the capital. That's what we call saving. It's capital preservation. Now, how that differs from investing is that investing is capital multiplication. So when you save, you've pretty much preserved.
Haijaenda mahali.
Haijagrow.
Okay.
But sasa investing is multiplying. Okay. And the reason I think it is important for people to understand the premise why tuna invest na mbona saving si enough peke yake, kwa sababu this is the rule that everything on investing rests on this one rule, and I think we mentioned it the last episode. We're talking about inflation. Kama unakumbuka.
Yeah, you gave an example.
So for the guys who maybe might have missed that part, if you do not invest for any other reason, like, and if at all unadhani investing ni optional, inflation should tell you that it is not optional, right? Kwa sababu
inflation ni
exactly, yeah. So inflation is the rate at which the cost of living rises every year. Simply put, ni venye tu tunaingia kwa supermarket watu wanaanza kusema na mbona nini imepanda hivi?
Maziwa ilikuwa 50.
Juzi nilifanya Insta stories, nilikuwa nauliza, nilienda supermarket, nikafanya shopping yenye haina vitu fancy. Haina vitu fancy, ni groceries, maziwa, hata sikuwa naongeza ati omo ama jiko.
Ukacha how much?
Nilishtuka mpaka nikapost. I was like, guys, am I the only one who is spending this crazy amount of money? Like, we are still the same number of people. The feedback I got, hadi nikafeel okay, I'm in the right company. Because I've been feeling like, if you've noticed, like kitambo ungeenda na let's say 1,000 bob, nimekaa kukuvisit, nikibuy vitu za tao, niko na kabag ka decent. Sai hata ni ngumu kupata 3 liters ya mafuta.
A good example is unaona kale kabag ka blue ka 15 bob ama ni ka 30 bob, kale acha kale ka 10, kuna ka 15. Hiyo ya 15 kuna duka nilienda 3k worth of shopping kwako kabag ka 15.
Exactly.
Hii bag ya 15 aka ka shopping bag kale ka mask kale kenye ako ka bag.
Hiyo kala
Kitambo hata 1,000
inajaa vizuri.
Sai 3k inaingiaje kwako kabag ka 15 bob?
Let me tell you, and that is what most people don't understand. Unaona vile watu wanaangalianga investing, wanadhani investing is for the elite,
the rich.
Like it's for the rich. If you don't invest for any other reason, or maybe now if you also have the money mindsets, some of the money mindsets we talked about last time, unadhani hii tu ni kutaka sana, ni watu you're not content with what you have, so you must multiply and grow. We invest because we want to keep up with inflation. That is because you see, whether I invest or not, cost of living lazima panda. So I invest so that as the cost of living goes up, on the bare minimum, I'm able to keep up.
So in short, investing is not an option.
It's not an option.
Juu inflation inagonga kila mtu.
Na itaendelea, ni kama kitambo venye wazazi wetu walikuwa natuambia ati wao walikuwa naenda shule na 20 bob for the whole term, pocket money.
Haturudi huko.
Exactly, it's never gonna go back there. So we invest. The reason why you want to multiply your money, well, that should be the bare minimum reason, so that you can keep up with inflation. But most importantly, you will never save your way to wealth. So if you want to be wealthy, ama kama ukifanya your 2026 goals, one of them was to grow wealth. You can't save your way to wealth. You must invest. Like savings won't get you to wealth.
And now this is now investing in large, like in
no,
big,
it doesn't have to
wealth.
be in large sums. No.
Even
We'll get to that.
For real?
Yeah, so it's just the practice of investing is what actually gets you to wealth, because you see it is a time thing. Aikwangi ati lazima, I mean, we'll talk about that when we start talking about the aspect ya compounding ama which is very very important, but the practice of investing ndio kitu unafaa uanze from as soon as you have kidogo money. From when you're earning as little as 5,000 or 10,000 bob, there's investment options in the market for everyone, from iyo mtu mwenye ana earn 10k to mwenye ana earn 10 million. Yeah,
I love that you've answered almost first 3 of my questions, because I was like, is investing for the rich?
Yeah. No.
Also I'm like, at what point do I need to get to mama mboga anaweza invest? So you've answered
Yeah.
everything, because we thought investing is for the rich, so
For
I
the
must
rich.
have 100,000 to invest.
You know, actually, we do not wait to get rich to invest. We invest to get rich. It's the other way round. Like hata hao rich wenye tunasema kuna mali wali kila mtu anaanzianga hiyo the haba na haba hujaza kibaba stage. Like it is the practice of investing, not the amounts. It's the practice of investing that eventually gets you to wealth,
So
not
there's-
necessarily the amount only.
So there's no at a certain time that's when you need to start to just start with whatever you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that, because the reason why nilikuwa nataka tu hii basic when you mentioned your nanny, I think hiyo ilinishika,
Yeah.
because I'm like, wait, does my nanny really invest? And I'm sure even most of the women rajuliza, does my nanny invest?
Kwanza juzi nilikumbushwa, unajua sasa December tulikuwa na ka interruption kidogo in the family, so I'd forgotten to put her no, actually she reminded me like 2 weeks ago, na aujaniekea pension ya November na December. Imagine.
Wow.
Yeah, she remembered.
Wow.
I'd completely, like, we had a lot going on towards the end of the year, so I think I completely forgot about it. And she's the one who reminded me. Venye tu alitoka kutoka leave, I think alikuwa like, kunaenda aje?
I know.
Yeah.
Asha learn. Asha understand the mindset yaku, which is very nice. So now, for someone who has little money, because now you're doing the basic, tupeane tu example.
Yeah.
Tuseme 50k. Ama hiyo ni mingi, ama 20, 30, ama 15.
We can even do
Options.
Yeah, what are the options?
Options, because what we hear out here, ni zile zinatushtua. I'm waiting to get 1 million, I'm waiting to get
to
half
buy
a
a
million.
bond.
Exactly. So now here I am, I'm a young girl, nimepata job ya kwanza, I'm a young man, I have 15,000. I'm a my nanny. I have 15,000. Where do I start?
Where do you start? Okay. Now, before you start investing, I want to take us all the way back to...
Okay.
Because today we want to talk about basics.
Basics, for sure.
So there's what you asked earlier on and you're like, so kuna kitu nafaa kwa kwanza nimefanya ndio ni invest, ama are there preliminary things? There are only, I would say maybe 3 preliminary things zenye lazima ufanye before uanze kuinvest. Kitu ya kwanza, budget. We don't want to hear that. I know, Cele, we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that.
Yeah, budget.
And I think we mentioned it kidogo. But naambianga watu, investing is not an event. It is a lifestyle. Okay? So we need to stop ati nimepata hii pesa nifanye nini. Yani, you know, it's like almost as though it's more of reactive than intentional. So the reason we do a budget is because investing only works to that, like ndo iwaki ikwe point sasa build wealth. Remember we said it's not about the amount of money, it's about the practice of doing it consistently. It only works when you make it a lifestyle. Let me give you a good example. When I restarted my job, because I feel like I've had 2 versions of my life. The first version of my life that was employed in a financial institution and did not do anything with those 4.5 years that I was there. And then now the version of me after nime lose job and then nimeanza kufanya online writing jobs zenye zinanilipa 10,000. Like on a very, very good month, I would make 10,000. Because remember, you're writing 1 page, nani complex topic. So you spend the whole day, first of all, researching on the topic, understanding the question, then now writing. And then you get paid 200 shillings. So if the more pages you write, the more you earn. So naona by the time you consolidate hii job hapa, after 2 or 3 days unapata maybe 1 page, after 1 week kuna kauka unapata tena job ingine ya 4 pages. By the time the month is over,
You have
10,000. That was me in 2020.
After coming from a financial institution.
Yes, because who is hiring? Watu wako home COVID, watu wametuma nyumbani. And then like pride just had to go. I can't be saying that I have a bachelor's of economics. Now I cannot do online writing jobs. Like your bills don't care. The bills need to be paid, so you need to work, right? So because I had already experienced the excuses that I used to give, because when I was employed, remember I told you I used to earn 40,000. And still, even then, I used to think that it's not enough money for me to start investing.
And here you're back to 10.
Correct. But then now I know better, because I was like, it's not the amount, it's my mindset.
The mindset.
Exactly. So now that I knew what it is to work for 4.5 years, have nothing to show for it, have no savings, be in debt. Now when I even got the 10,000, I was being intentional about it. So what did I do? Basics that I did. So when I was in uni, the first ever account I ever opened was a Stima Sacco. Oh God, should I
It's
mention?
okay, it's okay, it's okay,
yeah.
it's
So
okay.
it was a Sacco account, right? And it was because the church we used to attend, everybody and
Had
their
a-
mother
had a
was
Stima
in that
Sacco.
circle.
Even me, I think we opened a Stima Sacco back in
Yeah.
college.
Exactly. I think they are done very, very
Nice
good. And I'm
marketing,
still
yeah.
in the circle to date, yeah?
Me too,
So hiyo
me
ilikuwa
too.
tu ile pressure ya kila mtu ako hapo nini nini. So nilikuwa tu naekanga 500, nikipata kidogo kidogo na hata 7 months. Ile siku tena nitakumbuka, ndio sasa ninaweka tena. And now during my work years, interestingly, I had utilized 2 loans already. So remember I told you I had the loans issue, yeah? So I'd already used it. So when I now started like pangain for this 10,000 of mine, I made a commitment. And my one commitment was the amount going into my savings account will never be a zero again. I will never give the excuse that I earn too little. So what can I do with what I have? So when I used to earn 10,000, 500 bob ilikuwa inaenda Stima Sacco.
That's the savings account now.
Yeah, now this is the deposits account. Yeah, the savings account. This is in 2020. And then you remember the account had already been there. It's just that I wasn't funding it. So now I committed to that. Then I opened a money market fund. I already had the money market fund when I used to work in fund management. Again, the structure is there, but the discipline is not there. So again, I committed to 1,000 bob because the minimum amount you can put in the money market is 1,000. Then now we have very good opportunities from as little as 100 or even 500 bob. And then I opened a personal pension fund where I used to put 500 shillings. So you can see out of my 10,000, the bare minimum
1,500.
commitment was 2,000.
2,000, yeah.
500 to the SACCO, 500 to the pension,
And
1,000 to
1,000.
the money market fund. And that was my commitment to myself. As long as I make money this month,
I must do that.
I must do that because I used to make 40. What was I doing
Nothing.
with?
So clearly it's a mindset.
It's a mindset thing.
And it tells why we have the rich, like people who earn $1 million a month, but they still can't save.
Exactly.
They still don't invest. Yeah.
So one of the things that some people don't have a budget, then I did not take budgeting very seriously. So I started like this other way, like in terms of, okay, wacha nieke hii bare minimum, right? But then of course now as I continued exploring the world of personal finance and, trying to see, okay, so for poor people like me, because that was my state, right? Wanafanyanga nini ndo watoke kwa hii jam, because you're stuck living paycheck to paycheck, unaonanga tu watu wanainvest wanafanya, you're like, how do these people get unstuck? Like someone like me who didn't have the privilege of having a rich background or whatever, but I have this job, I'm a cleaner, I'm a this, I'm a whatever it is, na napatanga 10, 12, however much.
At the end of the month.
How do I break the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck? The only siri ni pay yourself first. And that's what I think I just took that one principle. I'm like, Susan is the one who's putting in the hours to do this research. Susan is the one who's sleeping at 3 a.m. Hawa tu online writing sana sana juu jobs utoka majuu ni za usiku. So wao wakiwa wamelala sisi ndio tuna, So I'm the one who's staying up late at night getting 150 revisions from the person who's given me the job, and then anipe bado 200 bob. Si ati juu nimefanya 3 revisions nitaongezewa, right? And I was like, if I do not find a way to sow into my future,
You'll keep on doing this.
I will be stuck here for another 10 years.
That's true.
So the concept of paying yourself first is the first thing that I want. Before you start investing, it is important you understand that and you actually connect emotionally and mentally to the idea of making that non-negotiable. So what does that mean? You can be earning 5,000. What's your commitment to pay yourself first? Let's start there. You can be earning 500.
So paying yourself in this case is a commitment I've made to myself.
Yeah, exactly.
So paying yourself first is, hii pesa ni mimi nilifanyia kazi, nataka in future.
Thank you.
So I lock it somewhere.
Exactly.
So by the time I'm finishing my 50,000, kuna 10K. Ni yangu.
Exactly. You get,
Okay.
So that's the first concept. That's why I said there are 3 things you must do before you even start investing. Understand that it's non-negotiable. So you realize that most of the people think that now that nimejinyima, it's like umejinyima fully. For me, I always look at it as if I practice delayed gratification right now, I'm just sowing into my future self. It's not like hii pesa inapotea ama inaenda kwa watu wengine. It's still my money, only in future.
Also, out of 10,000 umetoa tu 2,000.
Bado
Umejinyima
kuna
wapi?
eight.
Kuna 8.
Exactly.
Ujajinyima.
So now you see what that does, Cele, and I do this a lot with all my clients. We remove this notion or the idea that is it for the rich? No. You see, even someone who is earning 10,000 can start with that amount. And when I'm very excited because now when we get into the options, you'll see, even right now with that 500 bob, there's what we can do with it. With 500,000, there's what we can do with it.
And I'm thinking,
yeah,
500 every month by December. Unajua utakuwa na pesa like pesa crazy.
Hata unaweza nunua viatu, nguo, unaweza nunulia watoto.
Hata mbuzi, hata nyama. Like utakuwa na pesa. It will feel like easy money, but it's because of the discipline you've had
from
the entire year.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's the first concept. Before you start investing, understand the pay yourself first concept, and also begin to internalize that it is not negotiable.
Yeah.
If you make it negotiable, you've imprisoned yourself to live paycheck to paycheck. If there's only one way, Cele, to get out of the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck.
And that means after some time you live paycheck to paycheck.
No,
Not now.
You are living paycheck to paycheck because I always tell people, sai tuseme nalipango yo 10,000. Next week niambiwe na boss wangu kazi imeisha.
Hauna do.
Nita survive Nairobi miezi ngapi?
Hata hauna hiyo 2,000.
You get? So you see, if I was contributing somewhere, I have an emergency fund that can last me 3 or 4 months before I get the next job or before nijipange. That's what breaks the cycle. Like if you do not have savings, you will live paycheck to paycheck. So it means lazima ufanyie mtu kazi, hata ukiwa mgonjwa, hata ukiwa pregnant, hata mtoto akiwa 1 week, lazima urudi job.
And please, sorry. And savings doesn't mean it's a lot of money.
No.
I'm assuming hata hiyo 2,000 au umesave leo, uambiwe kesho hakuna job. Do you know you have fare kurudi kwenu?
Yeah.
Like hautakopa kurudi kwenu.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. It protects you from digging deeper into debt. Hata kama already uko kwa debt, kama sasa inambia mtu anamzanga sasa coach, hata hii 15k nimeweka itanisaidia aje?
That's my question.
I'm like,
saving ya 15k.
Sasa ukipatwa na emergency ya 15,000 bila hiyo 15k unaingia tu tala.
Exactly.
Tabidi umekopa.
Na hiyo kukopa utalipa na loan.
You're deeper in debt. Yeah. So that's the first concept. The second thing that you need to do is to definitely do the budget that we mentioned. And a simple, I think we did this last time, the simple description of a budget is an intentional spending plan. You remember we said that? Yeah. So ask yourself, I earn 15,000. What would I want this money to do for me? Remember, you've already said out of this money, 2,000 will go to
savings.
Then now begin to put caps. What are caps? You say, okay, enjoyment won't go past 2,500. My hair, I think if I live within my means, I cannot be going to the who's and who's paying 8,000.
I'll just go there.
Yeah, I go here. Exactly. So you do an intentional spending plan. Why is the budget important? Especially for longevity. It is important because you're able to stick within those caps. If you do it, of course, it takes around 3 to 6 months of consistent budgeting and sticking to the budget for it to stick.
3 to 6 months.
Yeah, it's not an overnight thing. Ile budget yangu ya kwanza nilifanya mwezi ya kwanza, I blew it. By day 7, I was way above it. And then you do it again in month 2. You identify where the loopholes are.
What happens if I earn 15k, nikaibudgetia hiyo mwezi, then tomorrow nikitembea niokote 10,000? Do I ruin my entire budget ama do I save?
No,
I mean, ama nirudishie mwili pole.
It's luck. So it should fall within your systems. Unaona sasa kuna hizo zenye umeweka. So like now you see a budget, and remember last time I told you, a lot of us have a list of bills, and we assume that the list of bills is the budget. It's not. A budget is not a list of bills. If there's a done for you budget tracker that I've done, it has so many things. It has, your budget should have, of course, the bills. The bills are just one component of it. What are your savings and investment commitments? What are your debt obligations? How much would you want to go to wants, enjoyment, giving? And more to that, what are your short-term medium term and long term goals, and what are you doing with your money today to ensure that that masters you want to do in 5 years, you'll have the money for it. So we start doing these two small things, the two sinking funds, to accumulate money for buying your car, or accumulate money for going to get that hairdressing certificate or something of the sort. You get? So the budget is all rounded. So when you have the system in place, like kama mimi sahi tu Cele, ukisikia tu umebarikiwa unipe 20 million, hata yezi kaa one day.
Umeipangia.
Exactly, because I have my medium term and long term goals already. So when I get lump sum money,
You know where
I
to
know
place it.
exactly where to channel it, because I've already done the plan, right? So begin to do a simple budget. It doesn't have to be complicated. Like the one I have, it's not complicated at all. It's
I saw it,
it's done for you. All you have to do is key in the numbers that concern you. Let's start there. Why are we budgeting? Because you need to know your numbers. To be a good investor, you need to know. Kama mi nilikuwa najua nikipunguza tu hii black tax tu kidogo ifike hapa, hiyo difference naeza lipa ideni nayo. Aya, now that I've seen how much I'm spending towards michangos, baby showers, bridal showers, if I can just reduce from 15,000 to 5,000, this 10,000, I can dedicate to this money market fund. You get?
Yeah. Cause sorry.
Yeah.
I bought that Excel sheet na nilijaza like nilijaza how much I spend.
Yeah.
Ilinirudisha kwa deficit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like iliniambia then what you're earning and then you need to make more money.
Yeah.
Nikaanza kuangalia ni makucha
What can I
nitatoa.
reduce?
Ni nywele itakuwa inashukwa baada ya miezi 3. By the way, I loved it because ilikuwa na fuel.
Yeah.
Ni fuel sitakuwa naenda by the way right now. Hata kesho as we speak.
Yeah.
Nilimetoa hiyo meeting nikaiweka virtual.
Exactly.
Because niliona hii mafuta, because how are you telling me I have a deficit of X.
Exactly.
Where am I getting this? So I love that
Most
Excel
people
sheet.
do not have face value awareness of what's going on with their money.
Like ifika tu matoa.
We unajuanga tu towards the end of the month you feel a bit uncomfortable about your money, but you don't know where the problem is. And here's the thing, you can't fix loopholes you don't know exist. So the point of budgeting and tracking, they need to go hand in hand. Budgeting is the plan, and then tracking is now saying, okay, I'd said enjoyment will be 10K. Now, according to what I spent in Feb with Valentine's and lazima upeleke babes out and whatnot.
March itabidi tukae kwa nyumba.
You've gone above that budget. Or maybe you are tracking. So we track so that we can say, so hii ndio ile budget line imekuwa ikinikosea. So that you can now start creating a solution to it. So that's number 2. So pay yourself first.
Yeah.
Have a budget. Number 3, before you start investing. Financial literacy. And I'm going to plug myself here, Cele.
Please plug yourself.
If you do not have money to pay a finance coach, you do not have money to sijui consult, I do not know who.
You're scared.
My YouTube channel has free information, and I go over and above.
I saw that.
I do videos as long as 1 hour to just simply explain money market funds, as long as 40 minutes to an hour to explain personal pension funds. What am I trying to say? Financial literacy in the beginning stages does not have to cost any money. We have, and I'm not the only creator, there are so many others that are legitimate in Kenya right now that are creating content around what is available in the market. Why is this important? If you cannot explain an investment to yourself like a child, or better yet, if you cannot explain it even to your grandmother, shosho yako sasa akikuuliza ati ni wapi huko unaekanga pesa, wewe mwenyewe una struggle ku-explain. Wewe mwenyewe huelewi.
Itoe huko haraka.
Exactly. And we always say financial literacy will always pay you the best return. You know why? Because when I'm literate, number 1, I will not make costly mistakes. I will not be conned. I will not follow trends online and end up losing money. Because Cele and Susan said invest here, I will not blindly
invest there.
I will also read a little bit and just try to familiarize myself. So you have to do those 3 things. So you imagine a person who has prioritized paying themselves first, has a clear budget so she knows this is what comes in, this is how I spend it. I'm in a deficit because I have a spending problem, or I'm in a deficit because I have an income problem, because it's either one of the two.
Is spending me is
Yako
spending.
ni spending, yeah. So you see, when you know that, if you have a spending problem, the solution is to cut. But if you have an income problem, we need to throw the whole system away altogether and come this other side and figure out, what can I leverage? Is it my skills? Is it my giftings? Is it my network? Because what I need right now is a source of income. I can't invest money I don't have.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
So that person has that. And finally, they have a little bit of information.
Yeah, literacy, yeah.
They're unstoppable. That person will probably pick 80% of the time, they will pick the right investments, because we are not perfect. So uwezi kosa kume. Hata mimi make several mistakes along the way. Interestingly, as a finance person, one would assume that because wewe uko hiyo industry,
yeah, unaelewa kila kitu.
So we don't expect perfection, but at least 70 to 80% of the time, that's what I would call a proper recipe for beginners. Like where ndo the first day unasikia story, that's where you should start.
Uko na kazi,
Yeah.
sasa umejilipa, ume budget for your month.
Yeah.
Kama haitoshi umetafuta kazi ingine extra itoshe ndo uweze kubudget. Because me, that's where I'm suffering hapo kwa kubudget, but I saw it's a spending problem.
Yeah.
So it's not like an income problem. Then the last one is have some some information.
Yeah.
Now here we are. We've found information, we have work.
Yeah.
It's a new year, we have a new job. Sasa tunataka kuanza
Where do I
kuinvest.
start?
Nada sitaki uambie atipeleka M-Pesa. Sitaki hata tutaje brand, but maybe hapo kwa hapo nikianza kuuliza, because you meet people on the road wanakuambia kuja uinvest na sisi, kuja, what are the things I need to look out for? Mi kuna account niliekanga pesa, sikuwa najua hii huwezi toa baada ya miezi ngapi you see these things we learn the hard way. So wewe uliweka tu ile siku nakuja kutoa, hapana hiyo mpaka umalize 6 months.
So tufanye a quick
simple
due diligence class.
Yes.
Due diligence hata before tuseme enda company X ama chukua hii product Y. The first thing nambianga watu is the most important thing that you should ask yourself. Tuseme Susan ni agent ama Cele amekuja akakwambia kuna hii product etc. The first and the most important question you should always ask is, where is my money being invested? Sawa, umeniambia niweke kwa hii kampuni. Where is my money being invested? Is my money being put in real estate? Is it being put in bonds?
By who?
By the company. Because simesema tuwape pesa muinvest, sisi tuta make dough.
So you mean like a bank?
Yeah, because you see most investments, yes, banks, let's even start with where are investments found in Kenya.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Banks offer investment opportunities. But
SACCOs?
Let's say just banks.
We are just naming.
SACCOs, exactly.
Yeah.
So banks, SACCOs, insurance companies also, and standalone fund managers, or what we call investment firms. Hizo zote, like right now everyone is in the market. So
Chama siku invest.
Bro, unataka nichapwe, unataka kuna place ingine hapo nilienda nikaambia watu chama si investment.
Unajua si wote tuko kwa chama. Chama ni nini? Ni sinking fund.
It's a savings platform.
It's a savings.
Yeah. Now it turns into an investment when you guys are, again, remember what we said investing is multiplying the money. If we are just merry-go-rounding the money.
No. Actually, I'm talking ile table
banking. As long as there's growth.
Okay.
If there's remember investing is multiplication. So as long as the money is multiplying, it could be an investment.
So ile unachukua 10k unarudisha ikiwa 10,100 ama okay. But here merry-go-round, that is not.
But also the rate matters. Hata hiyo ya table banking, the rate matters. Juu kama mna grow pesa, remember we mentioned inflation? Now, if inflation is growing by 7% in Kenya, but hizo activities mmekuwa mkifanya kwa hiyo table banking zina grow portfolio yenu only by 3%.
That's true.
What have we done?
Okay, basi hiyo si chama, hiyo ni welfare. Hiyo tu ni kusaidia tu watu.
Guys, ni Cele amesema hivyo, si mimi, si mmesikia.
Because by the okay, yeah, sitaki kumention yetu lakini we don't get to the 7%.
Of course.
I think it's just for helping people. Yeah.
I always tell people, I think it is important to acknowledge that a lot of African women are in chamas for social reasons.
Yeah.
Not for finance reasons. So ukiweka, we baki kwa chama tusemi utoke, but usikuje kusema hii ni investment. Sema mimi niko kwa hii chama ndio tushirikiane na watu, tununue masufuria.
That's true.
Watu
inajengana
and
pia.
nothing wrong with that. You may not be grow in money, but you're building social capital.
That's true.
Because there's those people. So we are talking now about the multiplication,
Okay,
right?
okay.
So let's assume umeambiwa peleka money kwa money market fund X. Ama umeambiwa kuna hii fund ukiweka pesa ni education policy ama ni education fund.
Life.
Watoto wako wakifika age ya kwenda shule
Watapewa.
Exactly. Start by asking, where is my money being invested? In finance, in simple terms, tunaitanga yon the underlying asset. Na nitakwambia mbona hiyo information ni very important, Cele. What is the underlying asset? Sasa naweza taka watu wachukue notebook hapa. Ni
Tafadhali, wacha nichukue notes.
I want to educate on three main assets. Kuna zile tunaziita asset classes. Na hii ngumu, guys. As long as you write it down and you go Google it later, you will understand. I promise, it's not hard. Okay? Kwa financial markets, juu uko ndiko tunapeleka pesa kuinvest, si ndio? Kuna 3 main assets. The first asset class inaitangwa cash and cash equivalents. Yeah? So hizo ni nini? Hiyo ni pesa yenye ni short term investment. Hiyo ni pesa ukieka leo unaweza toa in 2 days ama in less than 1 year. So unaona hizi fixed deposits za 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. Treasury bills hizi za government zenye unainvest unalock pesa now for 3 months ama 6 months ama 12 months. Ama bank ama money market fund. As long as tu ni pesa unaweza weka na utoe haraka.
So kama bank
Ama kama money market. Hata fixed deposit wanakwambianga unaweza fix for 6 months, lakini ukihitaji hata before the 6 months watakucharge tu ka penalty kadogo na bado utaweza ku liquidate, si ndio? Hiyo sasa ni those are called cash and cash equivalents. The point is I can put and I can remove easily. It is not an illiquid investment. Okay?
Have you invested by doing that? Ukiweka na utoe kesho?
Well, it depends on
No, like whether you've kuweka ilikuwa investing.
Yes, kuweka ni investing as long as ina earn interest, as long as it's
shida
being
ni ulitoa tu haraka.
Kama hiyo ni treat kama bank, your money will not grow, right? Aya, the second asset class, hizi ni the asset classes. So unafaa, na reason tunawafunza hizi asset classes, ndio mtu akikuja kukuzia investment, you want to make sure mali waneka pesa zako ina fall kwa one of these places. Okay? Aya, the second ni tunaita fixed income assets. In a very simple terms, those are called bonds. So what is a bond? Because najua tu anasikianga government bond. Tunadhani hizo ni vitu kubwa.
A 10-year bond. No. What?
A bond is a debt investment. Okay? And kuna 2 types of bonds. Kuna unapea government the debt pesa. Ama unapea nika vile naweza tu kukupea pesa leo unilipe na interest.
So mimi ni government?
So wewe ni government na mimi ni corporate. So kama ni wewe ndio unapewa hiyo pesa urudishe na interest, it's a government bond or a treasury bond. Okay? Kama mimi ni corporate, it is a corporate bond ama vitu zinaitwa commercial paper. So unaona hizi ndo jargon watu wanasikianga, ati mtu anasikia commercial paper anashtuka, anashanga hiyo ni nini?
So commercial paper ndio corporate
bond. Kulon
so this is a corporate.
Ni kama sasa tuseme mimi ni the Legacy Hub, tume float bond.
Corporate, like just a farm.
A company.
A farm.
Exactly.
Inapeana loans.
Very recently, actually, we had a Safaricom green bond and an EABL green bond. Lakini zilipita. So, hiyo si kama government. Hiyo ni EABL ama Safaricom ndo walikuwa naambia the public, tupeni pesa, tutawarudishia at 11%.
After
5 years. It was a 5 year.
Okay.
Yeah? But yenye tunapea government, inaitwa government bond ama treasury bond.
Nana hapo tumesoma.
Exactly.
Umeelezea mpaka nika understand.
Yeah. So ukisikia hizi words mbili, watu wengi usikia bonds, unashanga. So treasury ni gani, corporate ni gani, ama commercial paper. Those 2 words mean the same thing. Government and treasury ni watu wamoja, ni CBK. So hizo ni government bonds ama treasury bonds. If the money is being loaned to a corporate institution, hizo ni the family banks, the Naivas, any company that you know that operates within Kenya or even sometimes outside Kenya, but for now let's stick to Kenya. Hizo sasa zinaitwa corporate bonds. Hizo assets zote zinaitwa fixed income assets, na reason inaitwa fixed income asset ni juu venye bond work ni na loan gava. Tuseme it's a 5-year bond. Let's break down a 5-year bond. Na loan government pesa inamaanisha nimewapea hii 500,000 wakae nayo for how long?
10 years.
For the 5 years,
yeah.
Right? So that's what a 5-year bond means. Now, throughout those 5 years, how am I benefiting?
Inazaana huko.
Yes, sasa itakuwa inazaana lakini wananilipa every 6 months.
The interest.
So after 6 months ndapata payment ya kwanza. After another 6 months payment ya pili. Year 1 ishe. Year 2 nipate payment ya kwanza. After 6 months payment ya pili.
Na hii payment unapata ni ile percentage ya interest.
11%.
Depending on their percentage.
Depending on the percentage.
Okay.
So watafanya hivyo. So once a year you get paid
twice.
Exactly. So you'll get like 10 payments. Let's assume it's a 5-year bond.
Yeah.
After the 5 years are over,
you get your money back.
You get your 500,000 back.
So in short, it was working for you.
The money was literally stored. It was working for you. Ilikuwa inakuzalia. You
so
understand?
That's where sasa nianze kuingiza Kenya najua. That's where they say sometimes it's easier to invest in a bond. I'm just saying sisemi ndio confirmation because hapo siku have kufollow up. Mulikuja kazi, stock imepotea. Like that's entrepreneurship in a way.
Exactly.
So you've invested. Exactly. Because 6 months napigwa na kacheki kangu. Can we call that check a dividend?
It's called passive income.
Oh, it's called passive income.
That's now, it's money you earned in your sleep. You did not wake up to go to work. You don't even know what they did.
And that's why people rush to ikifunguliwa inafunguliwa kidogo inafungwa.
Sana.
Sasa tumejua guys.
Yeah.
Tukisikia ingine imefunguka.
Mnaingia pale.
Though they normally give a minimum.
Yeah, minimum investment inakwanga 50 to 100,000 depending on. So I would encourage people to look at it from 100,000. Na sasa Cele nikumbushe nikupe hack ya mtu ana 50,000 mwenye bado anataka kuexpose pesa yake kwa hizo bonds.
Nitakukumbusha.
Kuna ya 5,000.
Put a pin. Put a pin on that.
Exactly. So tumefanya asset ya kwanza cash and cash equivalents. Wale students watuambie kwa comments. Number 2 tumefanya fixed income. Mbona inaitwa fixed income? Because bonds give you a fixed income every 6 months. That's why they're called fixed income assets. Guys, the jargon should not scare you at all.
Yeah.
The third asset is what we call, na hizi jina tatu zina mean the same thing. That asset class is called equities. Equities also mean shares. Shares also means stocks. So mtu akikwambia na investing in stocks ama na investing in shares ama na investing in equities, all of that mean the same thing. Leo naweza taka kuja, unaona kama venye nyinyi mko na hii kampuni yenu ya content. Nione mna prosper na mimi nataka kukuwa part of it. But mimi si content creator, mimi si mfani kama nyinyi. Okay, but true, mimi si mfani.
Wewe ni mfani. Wewe ni mfani. So sema unataka kubai?
So niseme cheki ndio mfanye hizi production mnafanyanga, mnahitajingi pesa kama ngapi? Aya mseme tunahitajingi kama 500k in a month. Ama tuseme this year tunahitaji 500,000. Mimi niwaambie okay, sina 500 but naweza wapea 100. Mseme sawa, hata hiyo 100 itasaidia. So mchukue pesa yangu, muongeze na yenu, alafu sasa at the end of the year ile profit mtamake mnilipe according to ile percentage mimi nili contribute. And people do that even in their friends' businesses.
And that is now buying
shares.
Stocks.
It's like you've bought, equity is you've bought ownership, a part ownership into that company. All right?
Okay.
Yeah, so ni kama nime buy into kenye mnyi mnafanya, since pia do yangu niliweka hapo, pia mimi nitapata ka profit kangu kadogo.
So hawa si usema niko na shares Safaricom.
They are co-owners.
Wameekelea
Exactly. That's what it means. Imagine, it's so simple.
Oh guys, I'm in class.
It's so simple.
Kesho naenda kuwekelea hapo.
Exactly.
No, I'm kidding. Why I'm kidding.
Yeah,
but no, I understand. So we have the cash.
The cash equivalent.
Where you put in and take in out anytime.
Aya fixed income, lazima ufix pesa for a duration of time.
Ndio kulange
interest. Then kuna equities. Equities sasa ni shares.
Kama hujaandika hizo notes wewe.
Yeah. So, hizo ni the 3 main asset classes. Alafu kuna zenye tunaitanga alternative. Alternative ni kitu ingine yenye haiko hapo, lakini pia inafaa ijulikane. Because remember tunafanya due diligence. Tunatry kuona kama mtu ananiuzia hii kitu, ananiuzia kitu legit. So the other alternatives ni kitu ka real estate. Tunaona tujataja real estate, but that is an alternative asset class. Another alternative asset class ni hizi vitu unasikia kama cryptocurrencies. Pia hiyo ni alternative. My recommendation, cause today tunafanya basics, tukae kwanza na hizi the 3 main asset classes.
Hata hizo zingine mingi kushataja crypto.
Exactly.
Tumechanganyikiwa.
Na hata what I advise all my clients, tafadhali, if you do not have a simple money market fund to start with, ama hata a simple SACCO or a simple pension fund, ni sikusikia ati unanunua bitcoin uomoke, ama unafanya forex. Remember, those things are alternative assets. We want to start with, ni kama unaruka class 7 before hata upite class 4. You get? So we want to start with those basics.
So you're telling these people,
Yeah.
nimependa ako ka point, if you do not have a money market,
Yeah.
you don't even have a sacco, umesema sacco? You don't even have a what? The last one?
Pension fund.
Usiende
You
uko
have no
kwingine.
business.
So I think guys,
Yeah.
hapa another pause. Uko na hizo uko na one ama both.
At least one or two of those.
At least one or two of
Yeah.
those. Please amka kesho anza sasa kuulizia ni wapi unaweza invest pesa yako. And na nikuulize, even when I'm going to invest to the sacco, niwaulize pesa yangu inaenda wapi?
Yeah, okay, uzuri the SACCOs are actually, can we talk about SACCOs a little
Yeah,
bit?
please,
Because I feel like
yes,
a lot
please.
of us upcoming citizens, we tend to underutilize SACCOs, and SACCOs sometimes can really be helpful.
Yeah.
So SACCO ni nini? A SACCO is a cooperative society, or rather a company ama institution ambayo inakuja in a pool. Like right now we are like 6 people in this room, right? We put money in this particular pot. All right? And then tuseme, as long as contribute kwa hii pot, ni kama tu venye mnafanya table
Chama.
banking, unaweza kopa.
Omba.
What is the difference though with table banking? Okay, well, I don't know, table banking ni vile tu chama wamestructure.
Ni venye
But
tu
SACCOs
rules.
ideally vile zina work ni you can borrow up to 3 times or 4 times your
your
total
saving.
savings. Why are you able to borrow more than what you've saved? Because there's a pot where people have contributed. Now,
Rudia hiyo point. Rudia hiyo point.
Okay.
You can borrow
up to 3 or 4 times.
na sijatumwa na sako.
Yeah.
But imagine saving 100,000
And borrowing
being able
400.
being able to borrow 400.
Yeah.
Kama ile biashara utaanza. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know why that's possible? Because it is not common that all of us have borrowed the loan at the same time. So you've contributed to the pot, other people have contributed to the pot. Now in the Kenyan SACCO system, we are talking hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
Who contribute either through their employers or even individually. Saka sisi freelancers tunajiekea tu. But bado pesa yetu iko kwa hiyo pot.
And
a lot of people have built their bought their first of all built their businesses using SACCO money, bought their first property using SACCO money, their first car for business or something using the
and their interest returns are very low.
friendly.
Yeah.
Very friendly.
And then maybe najua kuna wase wanasikia sako wanakula na katriga na katrauma cause again you know we've seen SACCOs which have done people bad. Like leo ilikuwa hapa, kesho hii building imekuwa shule. Like kujui SACCO imeenda hapi. So maybe kuverify tu hiyo SACCO. Sitafungua leo niweke pesa yangu nimeweka 1 million nataka nipate 3 million. Hata hiyo 1 million inapotea.
I'll tell you an uncomfortable truth in finance. We never give 100% guarantees on anything. And I would really suspect anyone who tries to give anyone 100% guarantee on money. And I know that feels scary, but mi napenda kukua honest na watu. As much as tunaweza taka kusema hii SACCO ama ukifanya hivi watakuwa 100% guaranteed. Hata mimi leo kukuja hapa naweza kuwa nilikosa kumake it. So life is not exactly if when we think about it on a broader or you zoom out, don't just focus on the finances. Nothing in life is 100%. However, there are few rules of thumb that you should follow. Number 1, I know kuna zile SACCOs zinakuanga regulated by the cooperatives regulator. Wacha nizite tu ndogo ndogo, SACCOs ndogo. So unasikia sisi ni wa Catholic Church flani, sijui kuna SACCO etc. Personally, a good way of protecting yourself kidogo, please go for the SACCOs that already are regulated by a body called SASRA. SASRA. That is the body that regulates SACCOs that have deposits that are above 100 million. SASRA. So hao wenye wako below 100 million uregulatiwa tu na cooperatives, the body that regulates cooperatives. Now, for SASRA now to license you, inamaanisha nyinyi kama SACCO mmeoperate mmefanya hizo deposits zenu mpaka zimepita 100 million, right? So in other words, you've grown the funds, right? So that means already you've built credibility, trust etc. So that is usually my first recommendation. Please go for SACCOs that are already regulated by SASRA. The second thing, keep your ear on the ground. A lot of SACCOs, the members of the SACCOs will be saying very good things about the SACCO. Not the people who own the SACCO the people who are members of the SACCO. Because sasa mimi nakuzia SACCO yangu wamenilipa, wajanilipa nikwambie ujoin. So if I'm sharing an experience about my SACCO, it's probably because that's my true experience, unless I'm their sales agent.
Okay.
So listen to what people are saying about their experiences.
So referrals maybe.
Referrals. Now that you've mentioned referrals, the third thing, I want to talk about guarantors, because most people join a SACCO as a lone ranger. We umeenda ukasema wacha ni join SACCO nitasurprise watu, utajisurprise tafadhali.
Kwa nini?
Because for that concept of a SACCO to work, for you to benefit from the pot, that means for you to be able to borrow times 3 or times 4 of your total savings, you need 3 or 4 people to sign off for
Guarantors.
you as guarantors. Sasa imagine Cele, mi nimekuja hapa, tuko wao watu 6, sijai waona, siwajui, sijui majina zao. Sasa sahi nataka loan. Nikikuja sahi ni kwambia unisainie, utasign?
Hata sikujui.
Correct. I'm not signing for a stranger. And
Because
a stranger will not sign for me.
What happens, because I'm assuming what happens when you don't pay, ni huyo guarantor na
Analipa. So I can give you a hack. What I did very, very recently, my very close friends and I realized that we've been wanting to do a few projects. We are all in SACCOs. We have very good savings we could maximize and borrow. But the people who are there, kama sahi unaogopa pia kuambia kusainie, juu pia ujuka unaweza trust mtu akusainie.
ujuka unaweza msainia.
So what we did, actually almost 8 of my friends, we all decided to join one SACCO. We all decided to, because number one, I know you so well, I've gone to your show's house. We've been doing life together. I probably even know the projects you people want to do. For us, it's as simple as, babe, ebu nimekuskania, sawa, sign. Ivo tu, within
Actually,
the day.
Because even me, I had to join a SACCO with Mama Steph and Abel. At least najua ile siku nitataka garanta
wako.
Ni wewe na wewe.
Exactly. So do not join you can be in the best SACCO in the world with the best returns, and you can have saved, but when you actually need the credit facility, you have no one to sign off for you. Now, a lot of people now no longer worry about that, but I'd want to address. Now SACCOs learned that people have a guarantor problem. Now they became smart. They introduced self-guaranteeing. Okay, self-guarantee, some of them can take collateral. Collateral ni kama uko na kalogbook, kama ka title deed. Ama sasa kama hauna hizo zote, you would borrow against your savings. So let's assume I have 100,000. Most SACCOs, if you self-guarantee, unaweza borrow only up to 70%. Sasa ebona daylight robbery. SACCOs, I'm sorry, you guys know I've said this before, so you'll forgive me.
Ebu tuoneshe hiyo robbery.
It's daylight robbery. I borrow from my own money. So it's 100,000 of my own savings.
Yes.
Then I take 70,000 and then you charge me an interest to...
But I thought that interest goes to you.
No. It's a loan.
Where I am, I think your interest niliambiwa ni mimi nitapewa. Niliambiwa borrow against yourself. Akina ni kama walinicheza.
It's a loan. You're paying the interest on the loan.
Wataocha hapa. Aki, I was told if you borrow against yourself, when you pay with interest tunakuwekea kwako.
Gosh, no. I mean, I would need to. It's a loan from the. You see, hiyo pesa as long as iko huko kwa deposits si yako.
Nitarudi huko kesho.
Ni yao. So you see, it doesn't make sense to pay interest on money, my own money. So the bottom line for me is I need to have more money. Like, I need to have more money at the SACCO than they have of mine for this thing to work. Because you see, also I know a lot of people, mumekana 3 million, 7 million umelalisha kwa SACCO. Iyo 7 million set wamekwekea hapo, wanangoja ukuje. Wameshapea Cele, mtu mwingine, kila iyo pesa yako inasaidia watu kujijenga.
So hata pale sija invest.
In fact, what you've done, you've contributed to the pot for other people to benefit.
Especially the SACCO.
But you, no, not even the SACCO. Well, the SACCO will benefit from the interest, but the people who are
borrowing,
utilizing the credit facility. So where is the lesson here in all of this, Cele? If you do not require credit facilities now or in the future, wachana na SACCO tu kidogo, unless
Susan toka.
It's true.
For real?
Yeah.
Like, because money sleeping in the SACCO is just a waste of money.
Because some SACCOs don't give you good enough interest to justify. Utapata, do you know where SACCOs make you money? SACCOs make you good money when they begin to, you'll find a SACCO is giving 9% return on savings or 8, but on their dividends, they are paying 17 or 16%. So you see, and this is where the hack is. If you're not going to be borrowing soon, hata nimekelea simu hapo chini kidogo. Buy shares. You see, when your SACCOs are telling you can either deposit and buy shares. So my hack, for me, it's been a while since I last borrowed. Jubado niko na trauma ya my loans, like kukua too much loans. So in the period that I've not been borrowing, not that I don't plan to borrow, I've been balancing. So let's say I send 10,000 to the SACCO. I make sure 3,000 has gone into buying shares and 7,000 has gone into the deposits. So nikitaka kuborrow, I borrow from deposits. Like the money I have in deposits ndo wata times 3 ndo wanipee loan. But also at the same time, even without me borrowing, yes, I'll keep getting the 8 on the 9% on the savings. But every year they do their profits and they announce the dividend, I'll be getting 17 or 15% pay. So watu wengi tunaambiangwa minimum ni 2,500 ya shares. We unaweka tu 2,500 na unasahau hiyo story. Watu sasa wanakulanga dividends za 100k plus every year on their shares. So you need to know how to use these assets.
Kama hiyo siku anajua.
Please increase your shares, especially in a good, always investigate the dividend payment history. Like Stima SACCO is one of the really good dividend paying SACCOs. We have so many others. Point is, if you're not going to be borrowing, like unajua kuna tunaambianga mimi siwezi chukua loan, unafanya nini kwa SACCO? Hata weka tu basi kwa money market fund. If you have no business borrowing, then just say I'm in the SACCO for dividends. And if you're in the SACCO for dividends, buy the shares, because that is where the interest rate is reasonable.
Guys, are you learning? Because Susan, thank you.
Okay.
So
that's how you go about SACCOs. SACCO lazima ukwe na strategy. And that's why I always say goal-based saving or goal-based investing. At the point I was getting into the SACCO, it's because I knew mimi ni mwananchi mdogo. Mimi hata leo nikisema ati nitanunua shamba yangu ya kwanza cash ama nyumba nijenge na cash, I'll wait until Jesus comes back. So where is an avenue I can weka kidogo and then I can borrow times 3 and then also I can lipa pole pole.
That's a SACCO.
Yeah, so instead of getting charged by the banks 17% on unguaranteed loans, just save in a SACCO so that whenever you need a emergency loan or a development loan, you can get it from as little as 9%.
Yeah. I think hapo niko sawa. Hapo nilikuwa nimepotea. You've helped us.
We are good there, right? So we've talked SACCOs because we talked about 3 things. Money market funds is, for me, I always tell people, when you think of a money market fund, before hata ujue ni gani uta-invest, I want you to think of it as the better alternative to leaving your money seated in a bank account.
It's the better alternative
to leaving your money seated in the bank account. Why? Your current bank account earns you 0. Okay? But remember, we need to keep up with what? Inflation. So, which is the other avenue I should be putting my money where
inazaa
lakini nikihitaji hiyo pesa
inaweza toka,
naweza pata within 2 to 4 working days on the maximum.
So it's like you need both. Either way, you need the bank and you need the money market.
In fact, I always tell people banks are for transactions.
Especially when you're paying with your Visa.
Banks are for transactions. So for me, the money that is in my bank account, the other day my younger brother is...
Now he anakuanga na mambo hiyo brother.
He jokes. He's
even
such
last
a joker.
episode you mentioned him.
He anapenda kunichokoza sana. Sasa sasa hata juzi tu alikuwa ananijokia akiniambia Suzy, ile ukawe nyongwa na wezi
M-Pesa.
akina kuambia utachapwa juu unanga pesa. Like unaweza, like I don't walk around with very money. Liquid. I learned it. It's a hack for the people struggling with black tax and the guilt of saying no. It's a hack I learned back then in 2020. I used to realize that, let's say I have 20,000 in my bank account right now. Then Cele kusema tu kweli weni kazini yangu unicall uniambie uko stuck, unataka tu 4K. You know, I look at this account, I'm like, but I have 20,000 here. So you feel even more guilty to say no or to draw the boundary. Maybe even the money has mahitaji, maybe there are future mahitajis, but now because the need is now,
you
do it. So it's one of the hacks that I learned, try to manage the over excessive spending and giving, but also most importantly, when you have too much money lying around, it means that hii pesa ingekuwa imekuania ka interest ka 1 month, 2 months, 3 months before you actually need it. Because money market funds, they compound. That's what compounding is. Every month the money that is there earns interest, and then that interest inakuwa rolled over to the following month, alafu inaza even more.
For example,
like a money market fund.
No, like for example, I put in 10,000. After 1 month ikakuwa 10,100. Next time tunaza from 10,100
and then sasa itakuwa even more. So the power of compounding actually is that the more you leave the money invested. I remember when I first joined my MMF, I used to side eye my bosses because I was still working in fund management. I was like, indo kito mnasemanga watu wata make pesa, because my first ever interest in an MMF was 23 bob. I'll never forget. So after the 1 month when the statement came, I was like, this must be a joke. Because why did I don't know what my expectation was. And interestingly, now that I coach clients, I deal a lot with that.
Me too. So I was like, hata
nini sasa?
Juzi nimeweka kwa zidi.
Yeah.
The zidi is also.
Ile asafe.
Ikanipea two bob. I was like, hii kitu la.
Exactly.
Yeah,
now
but compounding, I think.
Yeah. Now because I've had one of the money market funds, the longest one that I've had, I'm on year 6.
Ooh.
Bro, let me tell you. Iyo statement ikikuja.
Unaweza tu ni gani?
Iyo, I mean CIC, the first ever
me
money.
Too.
Yeah, exactly.
I am doing well.
So actually by then, CIC was the first one. Unajua ukifanya due diligence.
It was
and by then, it had the biggest market share.
But nilifanya makosa pia huko.
Anyway, tutafanya hiyo nini nyuma ya tent.
No, but yeah. But they were nice. They were nice.
So that's where actually one of the CIC is my personal emergency fund. So that is the fund where I know Nairobi haribika. The money in that account is what will take me through. And imagine that's the account where I'm telling you, Cele 2020 nilianza kuwekanga how much? 1,000. Right now in that fund I have saved up at least 12 months worth of living expenses there.
What?
Yes. But it took me 4 years.
What?
Yes. Because we target
12 months.
We target 6 to 12 months. So initially, before I got my baby, I'd saved up to around 6, maybe 7 months.
So you mean, in case Corona comes in today, for the next 6 months, sisi kazi zikisoma, 6 months, you'll be living life
my bare
normally.
Minimums, my bare minimums
will be
taken care of. Like I will not
Susan.
Sitahama, sitarudi ushago.
Guys, we need to do better this year.
But that's what we always say. Unaona goal-based saving. As you've had, it's just one of the money market funds that I have. So sometimes people ask me, should I have one? Should I have two? Always start with one. And the one you should start with is the emergency fund. I think that's where we didn't get to. After we discussed the SACCO, if you say, I want to have an money market fund, the first purpose you should attach to the first money market fund you ever open should be your emergency fund. That is the account for kitu tu ikitokea yenye mimi singe plan, singe anticipate, right? So in finance we always recommend at least 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. But then now hear me out. If you're employed and you know that you have papers and you know from here you would just apply and job hop, then that's where we recommend 6 months worth of living expenses saved. For freelancers, now let me tell you what I learned when I got my baby. So nilikuwa nimetry kujipanga. I tried my best to put aside some business money so that when I was on maternity leave, one of the things I really wanted to do, when you're self-employed, there's advantages and there's disadvantages. One of the advantages of being employed is you'll get 3 months paid maternity leave. Sasa mimi mwenye nimejiandika, nani atanipea paid maternity leave? So when the first day I got that positive pregnancy test, I was like, now I have 9 months to put systems and structures in place to help me stay home with my baby, right? And the plan was the standard 3 months. At least nikae naye 3 months, ni train nani, sikuwa nimewahi kuwa na nani before cause huyu ni my first child. Sasa si unajua unadhani we kila kitu itaenda nywe. My friend, nilikaa home for 7 months because of just mavitu hapa na mtoto kugonjeka nini. Sasa when that's the first time it hit me that my 6 months emergency fund as a businesswoman is not enough. Because I used to hear finance advisors globally say, for employed people, we recommend at least 6 months. But for business owners and self-employed freelancers, 12 months. Oof. So the other 6 months, Cele, so you can see where majority of my money has been going since I became a mother. Because I saw how it is so possible for me to be out of work for 8 months because of issues outside of my control.
Emergencies.
Hii ilikuwa sasa utachia nani mtoto anashinanga akigonjeka.
Na ulikuwa unafuta za after 3 months job.
Nirudi. First of all nikagongwa na postpartum. Ikanigonga kabisa hata sijui Monday ni lini, Tuesday ni lini.
We need to have, it's a must to have.
It's a must.
An emergency fund.
Exactly. So you see, don't just be like let me open. Nifungue gani? Guys, we are asking the wrong questions. It doesn't matter whether it's CIC, it's Sanlam, it is ZD, it is whatever. In fact, take it from a financial advisor. There's very little that one money market fund can do to significantly differentiate its returns from other money market funds because they all invest in the same thing. Most money market funds in Kenya invest in treasury bills and they invest in well-negotiated for bank deposits. So all of them will give you an average of 11 to 13%. So as long as you're within that range of 11 to 13%, you're spending 6 months asking which money market fund, and in those 6 months, you could have earned interest in one of them. Let's ask the right questions. Okay, sawa. Imeisha. But yeah, I'm very passionate about emergency funds, by the way. Because if I had one when I lost my job, yani kuna vitu nilipitia zenye hata siwezangi kuongea about hiyo season kwa sababu tu sikuwa nimejipanga and it's these excuses, reasons. So I always tell, especially for us babes, and guys, I know mnasikianga nikaa tumewaacha nyuma, but mi nikipitia hizo stories za postpartum, my husband was going to work every day and he's still pursuing his goals and his career. He was a present father, yes, like we had an amazing time, we are lucky to have him, but my career was the one that stalled for those 7 months. Like, I'm the one who will stay home. So because of that, we as women, we need to think about our finances differently. You'll stay home for mat leave. One of you has to go to work. Most probably it will be your husband that will go to work. So because of that, you need to think strategically about it.
Imagine from kulipwa salo to nipe ya nywele. Nipe because you didn't have.
Sasa venye huyo mtoto alikuja, nikarudi kazi. The first agenda I had was to up that figure to 12 months, which I just completed December. Wow. Yeah. So it's been another 1.5 years, but it was, as you can see, it was very aggressive saving. So what did I do? For full transparency, I paused all the other fancy investments. And I decided for now,
we focus on this.
I've learned enough to see that I think for me it is non-negotiable to have at least 12 months worth of living expenses. Sasa sai 2026, nipati.
So are you stopping?
Naenda.
That was my question.
Yeah. Now I'm done. As of December, that was my last deposit.
Oh, so when you get 12 months, you stop?
Yeah, now I focus on other things. Now the money that was going there can go to shares. It can go to now another goal that I have.
Maybe, and then the money uko bado inazaana.
Inaendelea tu accumulate. Na sasa kama hata December tulipata emergency. Around August, I lost my grandma to cancer, so we had an emergency. So what you do now in the emergency fund, once it's fully funded, unaanzanga sasa ukitoa, unawaka kureplenish. So ka December kuna pesa nilitoa because we had an emergency. So I'll just work on replenishing it to pole. So it's just to maintain a standard 12 months. But then now, because I also don't want people to get pressure, most people don't realize that we are in 2026 and I started this journey in 2020.
No, after my question was, if at all I have the money, someone who is watching now, I have money that I can put in.
Do it.
Oh, once.
Do it immediately. If you know sisi what chovia ni juu.
Nilikuwa nataka kujua kama kuna disadvantage ya kuiweka.
No. In fact, do you know, the faster you fully fund your emergency fund, there are two things that will, and I'm telling you this out of experience, there are two things that will significantly accelerate your financial journey. And this is what I did. Number one, being debt-free and funding your emergency fund. Once you do those two things, what's stopping you? Because now you know the fact that I don't have debt and the fact that I have a fully funded emergency fund has freed up so much money. Now I'm like, the money that was going to pay madeni, it's here. I could have probably put it in the emergency fund. Now the emergency fund is fully funded. You see, my mind even opens. I get confidence to go do a special fund. I get confidence to buy KCB
Like
shares.
you have balance. You have some money left.
Yeah, like now, and that's what I tell people, don't compare your journey with other people. Because you see, this person who's telling you, boy, enda uweke special fund, ama enda ufanye hii, aujui yeye already kuna systems and structures ameka in
Emergency
place.
yake iko time. Can you do more than 12 months?
I mean, no, that's now over saving, because the assumption here is that if my business, tuseme kitu ifanyike Legacy Hub leo ianguke, ama mimi nianguke, siwezi coach, siwezi fanya anything, the assumption is that in the next 12 months, within the next 12 months, I should have figured out where next from here. You get, most people require maybe 4 months, 6 months. Unaweza tama kata 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Your class mnaisikia aje, guys? Are we moving nicely?
Yeah.
I love it. Okay.
So that's where money market funds fall. So you use money market funds for saving for emergencies. That's your first money market fund. It should always be the emergency fund. And again, as I was saying, don't give yourself pressure. For me, it's taken me 6 years to say I have a fully funded emergency fund. So this business of saying, Ati, in the next 3 months, I'll fund, Han, you can't. Ati,
No, maybe she can.
if you have lump sum, if you have a lump sum.
Yeah, but also no pressure.
Yeah, no
Usha
pressure.
make it clear, no pressure.
No pressure. So you do it pole pole. So let's assume kidogo, na ndo maana sasa umeanza kuona mbona budget ni lazima. Because budget ndio unasema, yani unataka kuniambia kidogo inafaa iende kwa MMF, kidogo iende kwa SACCO, ndachukua loan ya kuanza my first business or kubuy my first property, na kidogo bado iende kwa, let's say, deni, ni clear debt. So you see, you have to have that proper balance of what you're doing with your money.
Wow.
So those are the basics. Now let's assume umefanya, wewe uko na your budget, umefanya, let's say, money market fund. If you know in the near future or in the later future you will need good credit facilities, start building the credit with your SACCOs where you're not a lone ranger. That's very important. Where you know people, join with your friends. Now, which is the other investment that I think everyone should have? I think last time we mentioned it, and that is a personal pension fund. Can we do a quick activity? Please take out your phone.
Hiyo hata sijui yake.
Yeah. There's there's a calculator that I like to use. So if you have your browser on, and guys, you can follow with us, alafu mtuambie pale kwa comment section. So I want you to Google Cele Asset Management. That's just like, I like to use their calculator. And you guys can join with us. So if you have your phone, you can
Google
just
what?
Cele Asset Management.
As you pronounce
So
it.
maybe wanaweza tuandikia hapa chini
imetokea.
mahali. Umeiona?
Cele Asset Management.
Correct. All right? So, yangu kwani wewe unatumia wifi ya kina nani? Anyway, sawa. Umeona hapo kuna products. Aya,
Yes.
click, ingia kwa good. Aya, nice. Aya, guys, mnafuata hata nyinyi mwingia hapo kwa products. Kama hujatupata ufollow, this is very important. So we are loading the products. So I want you to scroll down to where you have the personal pension fund.
Okay, so it looks like
It's
Cele
the-
Advisor.
Kule chini hapa, enda chini kabisa hadi
Okay.
personal pension fund.
Yeah.
Good, click on that. Guys, are you following?
Now
Please
this
do the
Cele
same.
has not paid us. We're just trying to help.
Yeah.
our
I like to
fellow
use
women.
their calculator. Their calculator is very nice, okay? Now, kuna calculator hapo. Sasa Cele, wewe usituambie hizo
Retirement advisor.
Now, kuna retirement advisor hapo. Sawa. So,
I feed in the details.
yes. Now, for me, I'm currently 31 years of age. Proudly, by the way. Mi siogopangi
Mimi
kusema miaka
ni
zangu.
wale tunakaribia 40.
Okay? So, hiyo ndo the first question. Tunataka kuona
Yeah.
how much I need for retirement.
So me,
Sawa?
I'm 34 years, guys.
I'm 31.
I'm
Now,
not yet 35. Oh,
yeah,
thank God.
good. Now, my desired retirement age, I'm hoping at least 50 will not find me over grinding. Like, I'll still be working.
Yeah, but not ile 8 to 5.
Ama hata ile yenye ati nikikosa kuenda job
Hautakula.
mwezi sitakula. So,
Yeah.
wacha tuweke 50.
Me too.
Now, in this age, let us define what retirement is, guys, because retirement is not an age, it is a number. As much as we are putting retirement age, even if I get to 50 and I don't have money, what will happen? I'll have to continue
Working.
working. So retirement is not just about attaining the age. It's also about attaining the age while also attaining the number.
Okay.
So you can see they've asked you the number. Guys, are you on the form as well? What's your target monthly income when you retire? When you retire.
Like the amount of money I'm capable comfortably in a month. So I put that.
For example, today, if I spend typically, let's say, 100,000 every month, for me to be comfortable, my bare minimums, rent, food, transport, utilities, and maybe my hair. Let's not even say vacations, or I'm driving a Jeep, or I'm a country club babe, you know, not all those.
Membership fee.
Exactly. Is it only basics? So if Leona spend 100,000 for those basics, when I am maybe some 17 years from now, 19 years from now, when I'm 50, will I need more or will I need less?
Most probably more.
Why?
Utakuwa na spend but na assume inflation.
Correct. Inflation tu peke yake.
Inflation.
Aya, sasa wacha nikufanyia.
Nywele unaweza kuulinyoa, lakini
kama
inflation.
Cele, unajua juzi nilikuja kulan watu wenye wanakwanga na short hair, they spend more money.
Kabisa.
Yeah, exactly.
So we put in a figure.
If I typically spend 100,000 today, how much do you think you would need?
Say even 200.
Weka 200. Sawa tuweke 200,000. So what is your monthly target income when you retire? Umeka 200,000. So in other words unasema every month hii pension fund yangu ikuwa inanipea 200.
Nilale, niamke, niangalie farasi,
yes.
Nataka 200 mwisho wa mwezi.
Nataka more, sasa hizo ndo nitafanya consultancy, content creation
but
for more.
You're secured 200 eco.
Good. Now, the other question is how much have you saved so far in your pension fund?
None.
So, tuseme zero. To assume tunaanza zero. Aya, umejaza hiyo nini?
Yeah.
Now, please read for us what your retirement advisor is telling you out loud.
Na hii msini judge, guys. My advisor, Zimele, Mr. Zimele ama Mrs. Zimele is telling me, you have 16 years to save.
Okay.
You need to save. You need to save Kenya shillings 25,400,000 and something. So say 26 million between now
and retirement.
So the 16 years.
Yes. In order to reach that goal,
in order to reach options. That, I need to save 59,000, say 60,000 monthly.
For the next 16 years to reach that goal.
Or save a lump sum of 6.4 million today. Like nieke tu once 6.4 sahi.
Uiache for the
16 years.
Itakuwa imegrow to 25.
Guys, nani ako na pesa natumia nisaidie?
Si nimekwambia unipe 20 million. So umeelewa mbona niko nakwambia unipe 20 million.
Nani ako na pesa natumia niambie. Na sasa nataka nikiketi peke yangu nijite kama mkutano, nifanye sasa hesabu yangu kivya. Nitakimbia huko. Nywele zitasimama.
Guys, let us know in the comment section what you've gotten as your number. Now,
what is Mr. Zimele telling you?
Now, do you know Cele? You said that 25.
Can we go years like younger?
Yeah, I'm guiding you there shortly.
Oh, thank you.
I want to label something for you here. Do you see that 25.453 million?
Yeah.
It needs to be on your vision board if you do vision boards. You know why? Because that is your financial freedom number or your financial independence number.
That is what will make me stop working after 50 years.
Thank you. Your
Jesus
pension
Christ.
fund needs to have 25.4 million, and that's why 25.4 million inafaa ikuwe mahali sijui kwa bedroom umeiweka
ukiamka hivi
unaiona. Because even if you achieved that money today, you should be able to generate a bare minimum of 200,000 from it every month. And this is assuming an average interest rate of 9%.
Sorry, repeat.
This is assuming, so 25.4 million will itakuwa inakupea passive income indefinitely, like until the day you die, as long as that portfolio has 25.4 million in that retirement pot or retirement fund, it can comfortably give you 200,000 indefinitely.
Starting now when I'm 34.
Yes. Even if you got it, do you realize even if you were to change the number of years, so let's change the number of years. Let us assume Cele. I want to show you. And guys, if you still are on your calculator, this is really, really powerful.
Mr. Zimele.
Aya, sasa nataka uassume umeka 34. When was your first ever paycheck? the first ever time ulipata kamshara kazuri na ikaanza kukua consistent, how old were you?
I think anasema 23.
Good. Now right now, how much do you need to do monthly as per your
59,000.
59? Please take note of that.
60,000.
60,000 per
roughly,
month.
yeah.
Aya, change your age to when you started earning, which was
23.
Aya, weka 23. Now, if you started when you were 23, how much would you need to be saving monthly?
It didn't change.
It needs to.
It didn't change.
So weka 23, 50, maintain the same thing. So your current age...
If I started when I was 23, guys, ningekuwa tu naeka 18,000. 18,612 only per month.
And now?
Now I'm doing 60. The more I wait...
Now, I want you to actually enter. Now you're 34. Let us assume you dilly-dally. And then when you hit the big 40, you're like, guy, aki lazima nichukue retirement seriously. Weka 40. So, sahi utakuwa unafanya maybe 50? 56,000. Ama ni 60?
Sahi nafanya 59 at my current age.
Sasa weka 40.
Nisipoanza leo ukitoka hapa. Ningojea hadi 40 ndo nianze.
Yes.
Susan turapia hapa.
Naanza
kusikia na kasirika.
How much per month?
If I start at 40, if I don't listen to Susan today and start now at 60, if I start at 40, I'll start at 131,000
per month.
531 shillings every month.
That is more than double what
I'll
should
be
doing at 34. Yani, ukingoja 6 years, utakuwa unafanya double the amount you should be doing today to get the same. Remember, you're still getting the same 200,000. And by the way, notice, even as you change the age, your financial independence number has stayed the same.
Yeah. Actually, my thinking is I'll be paying 131,000 from 40 to 50
so
just to be getting 200,000 after 50.
Yeah.
Na hii ndio hesabu inafaa kufanywa.
Now,
ama hii sasa ni watu yanga ama ni ya mimi sahi.
The lesson here is, and this is why, remember when I told you it is a time thing. So when, like now for me it came to, at 31, I need to be doing 42,000 every month. So for you at 34, because you're slightly older than me,
I need to be doing 60.
You're doing 60.
A difference of just 2 years.
Or a difference of 2 years. So you see, this is the lesson here. I like to really talk to my age mates, the people who are in their early 20s. No, nasema watu wako early 20s and early 30s. Let's even say if you're in your 20s and 30s. When we are talking investments, people want to hear fancy investments. They want to hear these things, forex, nini, hizo vitu fancy. And on the bare minimum, you will not retire. You do not even have the bare minimum to cover for when you are vulnerable. You're old, you're no longer employable or pensionable. The most you can do is start a business, do consultancy.
And
like
at
the
50,
system.
how are you starting a business?
I mean, you could.
You can.
Yeah.
You like.
But
you can,
at least
but
to employment system wewe hauko. Unaona? So you see, when I tell a 23-year-old who just got her first job in Microsoft, or maybe you've just got your first job in Safaricom, I tell you, open a personal pension fund. They look at me like, ama huyu ni mwenda wazimu. What do you know? You don't understand that you're the luckiest. If you're at least below 25 and you're watching this video, you're the luckiest person in this audience. Because it's so cheap for you to achieve the same goal. Because you see, for someone who's 23 years old, and they want to retire at 50, it's the 18,000. Now, let's even assume, because rarely do people retire at 50. Most people retire maybe 60, 65. Let's even take the Kenyan retirement age, which is give or take 65. So let us even take a 23-year-old now who will probably retire at 60 or 65. They are contributing 4,500.
Start. Just start.
And that is why when you ask me, why am I putting a pension aside for my nanny? That's the reason I'm putting aside that pension for her. Because everyone in the damn universe, forgive my French, requires a personal pension fund. And if you allow me just 5 more minutes, I'd want to prove us wrong. You see, we've estimated that if I spend 100,000 today,
that you will need 200 by then.
Now, let me take into account inflation at 7% to tell you what, in 16 years, yours was 16 years.
Mine
what,
was
17? All right. So a very simple way to do this, we are going to introduce AI Aki class, mko tu kwa simu, sawa, ingia kwa ChatGPT. This is the prompt that I'm going to give ChatGPT Cele, okay? If I spend 100K today and I want to maintain the same lifestyle,
17 years to come.
yes, in 17 years, how much will I need per month? How much will I need per month? Then, considering an inflation rate, let me even be kind. Let's say an inflation rate
No,
of
don't be
6.
kind.
Okay, nieke 7.
Don't be kind.
Of
This life is not kind.
7% in Kenya. All right? In Kenya. All right? So in finance, it's just that saya tuwezi leta mahesabu mingi. This is a calculation. The finance people know. It's what we are calculating the future value of 100,000 today. So we want to ask ourselves, what is 100,000 worth in 17 years considering an inflation rate? So ChatGPT, for you guys who have done the prompt, will do the calculation. So you can even see this, the whole zone, it's power, what, all of that. Pretty much, 100,000 today will be 316,000 in 17 years.
So in short, hata imetujibu wale wasi walikuuliza why should I invest. Umesikia? 100k yako sahi in 17 years if you don't invest, like you'll need 316.
Yeah, hiyo nimemaanisha sija change gari, sijahama ile nyumba naishi.
Sasa nimetoa 200,000.
Sasa inafaa kwa the real number is 316.
Wacha sasa niwasomee the new Mr. Zimele. Anasema per month.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Anaambia sasa nianze kusave 94,313 shillings every month for the next 17 years.
And now, Cele, let me bring something to your attention, okay? We've considered only your bare minimums. See, you and Jugush want to go for vacation once a year.
Haiko hapa.
Do you want to educate sijui kinatugi in sijui what systems?
Ngambo. Yeah, sijui nini.
Do you want to leave them an inheritance?
Yeah.
We've not considered all of those things. Do you still want to drive a jeep, own a horse, own a ranch? We've not taken into account luxuries.
Hey, okay.
We've just said we are living and surviving. We have food, shelter, clothing, and transport. Have we considered health insurance for a 55-year-old every year? Have we considered car insurance? There are so many things. So ideally, 316 is what you need on a bare minimum, which means that is where we'll keep having. So now that's where, because watu wengine wananiambianga mi coach siwezi invest, biashara yangu ita. So I always tell people, your pension fund is your bare minimum account. You will still need more money from your bonds. Zile bonds uli invest, zile shares ulifanya, zile biashara na brands mli build, sasa zitaongezea your 316. So at least mpate another 200 from your different investments that you did as ventures. So the fact that you have other investments is not an excuse not to do your personal pension fund. In fact, your personal pension fund is the most guaranteed investment you have because of the protections that the Retirement Benefits Authority has put around the personal pension funds in Kenya.
And question, before hata tuendelee, sorry, I love that I'm getting it.
Yeah.
This
personal pension fund.
This personal pension fund ni hivo iko. Is
Even
it NSSF ama ni nini?
Usitaje to the government.
Sorry. So ninafaa ni Google personal pension
fund.
Na ni register.
And you will get. So a lot
That's
of
the name of the firm.
Yes. No. A personal pension fund is like a money market fund.
So we have many under this umbrella.
Many. So like for example, the one I was telling you, I was doing 500. That was the one. So my first ever personal pension fund was with CIC. So nilienda nikafungua money market fund yao na nikafungua personal pension
so
fund.
we under hii umbrella kuna vitu
mingi, different. So most insurance companies have personal pension funds, and I'm going to give a disclaimer here and a warning, because some of these insurance companies, you will go and tell them you want a personal pension fund and they will sell you an insurance policy. That's not what we are looking for. The personal pension fund is self-paced. Hakuna kitu inaitwa premium kwa hiyo personal pension fund. You are just, you actually, the bare minimum you should put is 1,000 bob. You can put when you have money. If in the next 7 months you're jobless, no one should penalize you. It's self-paced. So the months that I have 1,000, that's what I contribute.
I feel like then that's why they don't talk about it much.
Of course.
It doesn't benefit them much.
No. And the months that you have 50,000, 100,000. So kama sisi wenye tunakwanga freelancers, Cele, can I tell you what I do? You remember the last time I told you, the most important money skill a freelancer can learn is knowing how to handle the high income months and know how to handle the low income. I've just made it okay for myself to contribute 1,000 bob. So on the low income months, remember my commitment since 2020 is that unless I earn zero, my accounts will not get a zero. I'll do kidogo kabisa, right? So some months I do good jobs, good partnerships, a good consultancy. I get paid very good money. When I get high income months, all these accounts must benefit. I'm like sijui the next time nitaeka kwa hii pension fund tena. So saijui campaign imelipwa na niko na 500k, wacha nitoe 100 ama 50 kwanza niweke hapo. Because so on the high income months put more, on the low income months you can put less.
It even helps you to meet now your monthly.
Exactly. So it is self-paced. So that means mama mboga can put it. Kama anaweza pata 1,000 ama 500 per month, si lazima akue employed ndio akue na pension.
Okay, so lingine coach.
Yeah.
Umesema hii ndio bare minimum. So we need to work with this. Like it doesn't mean uache kuweka huko kwingine MMF SACCO.
Cele, kwa budget yako leo uende tu uweke budget line ya 94,000 kuenda tu kwa pension pekee. Hii hatujeka MMF, hatujeka bonds.
But sasa nikuulize juu hiyo time nitakuwa na vitu zingine kama huyo mtu wa biashara. Si busy yake itakuwa. Does that make like naweza punguza huko
I mean it will, no, it's all supplements. There's something in retirement we call an income replacement ratio. The people who experience financial freedom are the people who, when I was minji young and employable, I was earning 800,000. Now that I am retired, I'm earning at least 600 to the 800,000. You've almost done an 80% income replacement. So the reason why we need to have diversified portfolios is pension fund is one of the things that will be paying me when I'm 70. Bonds. That business will pay me kidogo when I'm 72. My bonds that I had accumulated will be paying me. Shares that I bought in my 30s will be paying me dividends once a year. The SACCO will be paying me dividends. So your life is easier when you have diversified.
So coach, unasema everything you've mentioned in this class is important.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah. It's just that we will accumulate it on different levels. Yeah. So naona kama mimi kutoka 2020 hadi 2023 nilikuwa nafanya tu SACCO, MMF, na hiyo pension fund. Juu pension fund tunafaa ukizaliwa tu hivi ukiwa 9 months unaanza kuweka.
Unaweza anza kuwekea watoto?
Yeah, you can.
Under your name or under them?
So nowadays they allow you to open guardian accounts. We'll talk about that trust fund maybe in another time, because this is where the trust funds are coming. Exactly. But yeah, you can start putting money aside. Kama sahi kati kangu kakona pesa na mwekeanga in the trust fund. Yeah, we opened it even like the moment tu tuli
retire at 30.
Unaanzanga tu hata inaweza kakwa maybe anataka tu unamboost tu, maybe akona business idea, hana funding. See, we should get money from.
And this money, can you withdraw it?
I'm the settler, the parents, not
no.
I.
This pension nikianza kuweka inaweza toka?
Unaweza, lakini you'll be heavily penalized if you've not achieved the retirement age. So most of them will not give you the money before you reach 50. Now ukitaka ku withdraw before reach 50, utapata very high tax, maybe around 40% will go to the tax. So it is a system that has been put in place so that we don't ruin that for ourselves. And funny, there's a study that was done by ISPAC in 2018. Unfortunately, only 6% of Kenyans, according to that study, will retire. Truly retire, like you have done income replacement. Where does that leave the 94% of us? It's because majority of the people don't own a pension fund, don't think they need a pension fund, think a pension fund is expensive. 94% will actually, over 78% will have to depend on their children.
Guys.
I'm done, guys. Nimenyamaza. Sips
tea. Susan. No. But mi nimelearn.
So today what we are saying is 3 simple things. Have a simple money market fund. for your emergency funds, your sinking funds, hizo kusavia school fees, have a pension fund, and even before you do the fancy bonds and whatever, if you know you're going to be needing credit facilities for investment purposes or for expansion purposes, have a SACCO. Then from that point onwards, you see it's levels. Ukishafanya hizo na una notice by then na funding hizi accounts na nika niko na an extra 10 ama 20, naweza fanya nini naweza fanya nini ingine, you get. So now you start exploring, so it's baby steps, and you don't just jump.
And by doing all these things, it's like you're paying yourself.
We are just pursuing, the whole point of this whole conversation is financial independence. I don't want to be dependent on an employer
for my entire life,
for livelihood, you get. Like ukiamka on the wrong side of bed today, watoto wangu watakula. We are trying to remove unaona your cycle, and then of course for Africans I'm very specific. This is the only way to break, Africans, we pass down poverty from one generation to another as opposed to passing down wealth. And me, this is something I keep saying, I did not come from wealth at all, but my children will come from wealth.
I love that.
So that's the only way, like we are doing these things to break the cycle so that now our children and watakumkanga so Wanjiko
huyo ndo alitu kwake kulikuwa na farasi. Susan, I don't know what to say, but thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Like I don't know, thank you so much. Hata mi mwenyewe tomorrow starting the next time we are meeting, nitakuwa na hiyo personal pension, hiyo ndo sikuwa najua.
Nitakusort, usijali nakutumia recommendations.
Like hiyo the other one nitaenda kuzirevive, zingine zilishakufa, nilishaachana nazo. But from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. It's the beginning of the year for sure. Most of us we want to be disciplined with our money this year. We want to be smart with our money. We want to do better than last year. So we want to, hata hii umetupatia ni class ya financial literacy for sure. Like whatever you told us, the 3 things, tushapata the third one here. So the rest is, please follow her. Like YouTube yake, mi nimeenda nimedownload hiyo nini budget tracker. Ni venye tu siku kidogo nitandike hiyo laptop yangu. Because now I have to cut down some things. But you see, when you see them on paper, you get to understand your spending habits. But thank you so much. Now there's someone, I am so sure, hata I'm going to tell my nanny kufungua sako. There's someone who has watched this and I feel, of course, inspired. I'm sure most of us are inspired. Tomorrow I want to go and visit a SACCO. Tomorrow I want to go to maybe a fixed, ivo. Simple tu. Like asianze kuzunguka ushatupatia the what to look out for, what to nini, but simple tu. Hata tuanzishie na hiyo budget. Aanze tu na wapi kabla aanze kuzunguka hivi. First steps, quick steps. No, tomorrow, as simple as tomorrow in the morning, I'm seated on my dining room, I'm seated on my bed. What are the first steps? I
think the first step, you need to get a budgeting tool, and if you've never gotten one, you don't have to worry yourself. I think I can leave a link with you, Cele,
yes, please,
for you guys to get the budget tracker. Nitaona kama tutawapea discount code,
by
the way. The tracker goes for 750 bob only, but I will give you a discount code for the people who get it on our link.
I got it by the way from Paste. Nilichukua, and I love that it has this segments,
categories and all of that.
Na sio ile Excel sheet lazima uweke FX, ukifeed in automatically
the data inakuonyesha. So I did that budget for myself initially, and then when I started coaching, I started sharing with my clients. So kila mtu akanza na you know when you are a finance person, you assume people can
understand.
They can just, because for me I make all my life decisions on an Excel sheet. It's so funny. So I've already done it for you. It has most of the categories, instructions and all of that. I think that's the first thing that I would definitely advise someone to do. At least try and fill in those figures. It's a nice activity. It will make you think about, where does my money go? By the way, yes, me shop, but how much goes to house shopping? Yes, na nunuanga diapers, but how much do we spend on diapers and formulas? Yes, I go out with my friends, but how much goes to
niliona tokens, nikaona nails, nikaona out, nikaona children sinking fund. I'm like, wait,
hizi ni nini?
Na unajua
Yeah.
Kitu ilinishtua ni all these things I do them but sijaifikiria
You've never thought to
zinani
track
cost.
even black tax, it should be on the budget. Hizi pesa tunapeana baby shower, bridal shower, birthday ya nani, hizo zote michango za bereavement contributions, you track all of that so that you see, okay, I earn 80,000 in this 1 month, where did my money go? That's the first step, so that you can start identifying where am I bleeding money, where are the loopholes. And some people, like for me, when I initially did that budget, I stopped judging myself for being a bad money manager, because for me it was rather apparent in 2020, that is, that I had a income problem. That's when nilichangamka. I was like, Susan, you cannot just sit in the house and wait for an employer or the government to save you. You need to use your skills, your talents to make more money. Because for me it wasn't, I had no luxuries, but the money was still not enough. So that meant I needed to earn more. Right? So you need to know. And wengine watafanya waone ni spending. At least ukijua ni spending problem, you know what to do. Ukijua ni income problem, you know what to do. Right? So that's step 1. Then of course now step 2 is begin to now interact with the content like this, or what we are doing. Now if you have some coins to spare, I always tell people, get a coach like myself or anyone within your range or your budget, for someone that is already an accredited person mwenye ataku advise. I don't want to say don't work with, like, I mean, when I say a coach, I don't mean a sales agent, because that's another thing. So you see, kama mimi nimelipwa na company X, nitakusukuma tu huko. So I always recommend people to work with independent personal finance coaches. Mtu tu mwenye atakufunza kufanya hiyo budget if you've never been taught by anyone. Some people buy the budget and they come for classes because they're like, Susan, yes, I have the tool, but I don't have the knowledge to properly utilize the tool, right? So we coach you and we take you through. In fact, in my 90 minutes consultation sessions, that's all we do. The first session, we will sit together na tutafanya your budget pamoja. You go home with homework. I want you to go look at your M-Pesa statements. Watu wanakuangadi na app ya Carrefour ya Naivas, una compare sasa prices. So that you can also see, okay, so how can I make sure my food budget doesn't go beyond 20K or 15K? Once we've done that, I help you earmark funds for investments and saving purposes. We're like, now that we've ironed out your spending, we've brought it to the bare minimum, and we still have an additional 5 or 10,000. Once we don't start investing, we now start setting your goals. I ask you, in the next 1 year, what do you want? What do you need? In the next 5 years, where do you see yourself? Someone tells me, I'm going to be getting married. I want to relocate. I want to buy a car. I think I'm expecting, so I'll have my child. Or I want to go back to school. We iron all of that out. We look at also your long-term goals. People have, kwanza mabebs huku nje, big goals and big dreams. People are buying apartments and they're doing all of that. So once someone gives me a clear vision, and even ukikuja bila clear vision, hiyo ndo kazi ya coach. We walk with you and we guide you to clarify.
How much is it for the 90 minutes?
So I'll leave the link also. Sawa. So the 90 minutes consultation session is 13,500, the virtual session. But I know that is on the higher price point. Okay. I also have a budget for your Best Life Masterclass. It's a class that I taught. I packaged it and I recorded it. That one is actually 2,750 only, 2K. Okay. It's under 3,000. And in that class, you get 3 hours where I've taught you proper budgeting, and it comes with a free budget tracker. So maybe I can leave that link as well, so for the people who only just want the budgeting tool, they can get it. But if you want a class and the budgeting tool, you can get the package for 2,750, Bob, so that you have both the class and the budget tracker itself. So I think that would be a good starting point. In the class, it's a 3-hour long class. So I've taught a lot about budgeting. I've mentioned how to structure emergency funds, sinking funds, how to manage debt. All of that is covered. So what I'm just saying is that step 2 is financial literacy. However you'll get it, whether you get it through us or you get it through someone who's accessible to you, that's the next step. Because remember, we said literacy is what will unlock that insight. Then from there, now it's just a matter of making sure that you have the proper systems and structures in place. So we help people do that at the Legacy Hub Kenya, as you've seen, from as little as 750, 2,750, 13,000, and even more. So you can just check out our website. You should be able to see all the different packages we have, from the low ticket offers up to the premium offers. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Susan. And thank you for your time.
Asante.
Guys, thank you for watching. And that's it for us today. Please, it's been a heavy class. So go sit down, jiite kamkutano mahali na ako ka notebook uone unaanzia wapi. But thank you so much guys for watching. Until next time, it's a bye bye from us.